The tea is exceptionally good today. Who made this? Very delicious. Hold on.
Hey, my cosmic cousins, it's your girl Nova Charm, and welcome to another episode of Astrology Tea with Nova Charm. And on this episode, we're going to definitely get into that full moon in Gemini that is popping off on December 4th, honey. That's right, I'm going to give you all the tea on how to maneuver through this energy and what you can expect to see. But before I get too deep into it, you already know what it is. Go ahead and hit that like. Go ahead and subscribe to your girl. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of this cosmic tea that I want to sip with you. Now let's get into it. Now, for starters, let's just go ahead and put it out there. This is the last supercharged lunar event of 2025. And it's sitting at 13 degrees in Gemini. It's definitely giving a lot of supermoon energy, and it's bringing in a colossal wave of energetic and mental intensity. Now, if you've been feeling a little scattered, overwhelmed, or stuck, that energy is definitely going to come in and give you this cosmic clarity that we all been needing, okay? Now, this moon is called the cold moon because it actually signals that energy into that winter energy. And winter has been coming in with a bang because we've definitely been getting hit with some winter storms here recently. So that cold moon is definitely outside, okay? Now, whenever dealing with a super moon, that basically means that the moon is at the closest point to the earth. And its powers and its energy is just completely amplified. And with that moon influence being in Gemini, it's basically giving you that mind fire. Like, you probably getting so many downloads right now. This is like an illumination supercharge in communication, your curiosity. During this time, you're probably getting flooded with different ideas. And this moon is really going to just tap into that intellectual part of you. Now, Gemini actually rules duality. So the core energy of this intense internal reckoning is you might be thinking one thing, but feeling another. This energy can bring about opposing energy, like wanting two different type of future resolutions at one time, like being able to see the duality of both sides of the outcome. This super full moon is definitely here to edit that noise, though, and it is here to prune out any mental dead branches, okay? This moon is less about the feeling and more about the thinking. It's more about the possibilities. Now, there is going to be some intensity around this full moon because of the fact that there is a mutable T-square going on. It will be in alignment around that time. So, of course, the full moon will be opposing the sun, which is in Sagittarius. And Sagittarius energy is all about that truth-seeking energy, okay? And that entire axis is literally squaring two major planets like Saturn and Neptune. Now, those are two big planets that are making some big moves right about now, okay? Now, both of those planets are clustered right now in Pisces. Now, Saturn is already direct in Pisces. If you haven't had a chance to go check out that video, go check it out. It's on my channel. But in addition, Neptune is getting set to go direct as well. And that will be on December 10th. So we're already dealing with the pre-shadow energy of that. You're already going to start feeling that. And it's already going to start moving towards that Aries energy. You're going to start feeling a little bit more action. But this energy brings about a collective challenge. It's mind and truth versus illusion and limits. Now, Sagittarius energy, of course, represents that expansion. And that energy is being challenged by Saturn's reality checks as well as Neptune's confusion. Now, ultimately, it's kind of causing like a cosmic traffic jam, if you will, of planetary energies, okay? Basically, the sun is highlighting all of those belief systems that are probably going to be outdated for you or feeling like it's going to be outdated for you. Saturn and Neptune is like wrap it up in the final chapter of that Pisces energy. And that Gemini moon is like, okay, now think of something creative in place of it. Think of what you can do creatively for this new chapter that you're walking into. So like damn near all the mutable planets is outside with the exception of Virgo right now, okay? Mutable energy is all about versatility and being able to see things from different perspectives. So that way that you're able to make the best decision for yourself, you know? It's not going to be headstrong like a cardinal sign or stubborn like a fixed sign. It's going to be very open and adaptable, if you will. And I always tell y'all that the energy definitely knows what it's doing. And it is definitely on you to utilize the energy and don't let it utilize you. Okay? Now, with that being said, this full moon is directly tied to a massive collective release happening right after. Okay? On December 10th, I told y'all, Neptune is going to go direct at that critical degree of 29 degrees. Now, you know, I've talked about the 29th degree on this channel a lot. And I ain't even had this channel that long. So that lets you know there's been a big emphasis on that 29th degree, which is that fated degree. Okay? That means that energy that is going to happen no matter what. That 29th degree is that last critical degree before it goes over, before whatever sign that degree is in goes over into that new sign. So basically, every single zodiac sign maxes out at that 29th degree. So that's like the boiling point. So that's when that energy is at its fullest and it just cannot do anymore. Like it's just full. And we have that energy within Pisces, within Neptune, which Pisces is home in Neptune, and Neptune is that planet of illusion and spirituality. Now, because of the fact that it is stationed in direct, this is going to be a big thing for us. And I explained before that this is going to be helping close out a big cycle, a long cycle. This is an ancestry cycle, baby. This got your ancestors on it, okay? So this is something major because we're walking into a new chapter that's actually going to affect our ancestors down the road, okay? That just lets you know, if you're here walking this earth and breathing this good old prana air during these times, your ancestors definitely banked on you, okay? They had a lot of faith in you, and they knew that you had what it took to do what was needed to get everything set off right, because the energy that we put out in 2026 is going to be felt for generations, okay? Like, I know that's a lot of pressure, but yeah, give it your best, okay? Now, what that Gemini energy is going to be coming in to do is to shine that illuminating light on all of the collective illusions, all of these false narratives that we've been holding on to. It's time to let that shit go. Like enough is enough, okay? Gemini energy is demanding us to get real and speak our truths, okay? It's very much giving throat chakra energy, okay? And while we're on the subject, this is going to definitely be a time to communicate your feelings to individuals. And please just note that this is just for the relationships that you feel like are worth saving. Like for the ones that you are pretty much like you already like at your last straw with, just go ahead and let that go. Go ahead and bring that ending. That's the only communication that is needed to be had, is that ending and loosening up those final, but it's a time for you to be realistic about what it's going to be and what your future is going to look like. And if realistically some people are going to go with you or some are going to have to be left behind. These are the times when we stop lying to ourselves and keep it 1,000 on what's real. Now, with every full moon, you, of course, have to ask yourself, what do you need to release? Okay. On this channel, if you've been following my channel, you already know that new moons are about setting new intentions and full moons are about releasing things. And one of the main things as a collective that this full moon is stressing for us to release deals with our comforting fantasies. Basically, we've relied on false narratives for way too long, okay? We've actually found comfort within these false narratives, and some of us are not ready to let go of these false narratives, okay? As we look around, this energy has basically told us all year long that the systems and the things that we have relied on are not what we think they are. It's time for us to start being honest about these things and really being real and coming up with creative ways in our own everyday to day life, how our lives can change and what that looks like as far as our new lives, our new beginnings. Listen, in 2026, there is so much Aries energy. We are definitely walking into an era that is going to be unfiltered and fully awake. Nobody is going to be playing around in 2026, okay? Now, this T-square is actually going to do a last-minute spiritual audit, okay? And this audit will be along the lines of the type of media that we consume, our beliefs that we share, and the systems that we have learned to depend on that we need to not. It is definitely time for us to find that happy medium between that spiritual aspiration versus that factual reality. 2026 is going to bring in a lot of go time energy. So it's like this last full moon is really giving us the opportunity to kind of like edit what we really want to do and what that looks like. I can't stress that enough for us, okay? Now, of course, we're going to have to add into it that revolutionary energy of Uranus. Now, Uranus did recently go back into Taurus. Now, if you haven't had a chance to look at that video, it is up on my channel. Go ahead and check it out. It's a good one too, okay? But let me dial it back. But it's bringing in this pioneered energy of Gemini that we will deal with early on in 2026. And we actually dealt with early on this year too. And it was acting a fool too, because like as soon as it went into retrograde, back in Gemini, when it was in retrograde in Gemini, was when that thing happened with Charlie Kirk. Like that literally was like that weekend or something. And it was that eclipse. All that energy was just aligned for just some craziness to happen. And it did. It did. Okay. But nevertheless, right now we're dealing with Uranus and Taurus. But we're going to be going back in that. And we're only dealing with Uranus and Taurus because it's still retrograding right now, okay? But come 2026, we're going to be looking at Uranus and Gemini. And that energy right there, okay? First of all, Uranus is that planet of aha or surprise. Gotcha. Oh my gosh. And it's tied to Saturn. So as much as people don't really like to look at Uranus because, they just like to think of the freedom of it all. And, it's about the aliens and the social media and the internet and all of that good stuff. Like it also deals with that rebellious energy. Okay. And that's going to help provide for a lot of this aggressive energy that we're going to be dealing with in 2026. Trust me. There's going to be a lot of aggressive energy going on in 2026, okay? You want to make sure that you use that aggressive energy in a way to go after the things that you want in life, though, okay? But Gemini being that signature of communication and information had brought forth so much new and futuristic type of information earlier this year with that energy. So when it goes direct next year, it's definitely going to kick it right back where it left off, and it's going to come in with the bang, okay? This energy that we're dealing with right now is going to help prepare us for that, all right? It like brings this shocking awareness of things that needs to be let go. Things that we need to be broken free of. Uranus is not about the systems, whereas Saturn is. It's all about the systems. It is the system, as a matter of fact. Uranus ain't down with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Uranus is for the people, by the people, for the people. It's on its FUBU. Okay? So adding that with that information energy that Gemini brings in, as well as that communication energy that Gemini brings in, it just lets us know that there is going to be a lot of sudden changes in the things that we thought to be true, coming to light. And I feel like this full moon is going to kind of give us a little sample, like a little sampler of what that's going to be about. So that's something we should look forward to. Now, Gemini rules the nervous system, okay? So the combination of that mental activity as well as that Uranus chaos that, would be a combination. That means our nervous system is working overtime, okay? Since we're going to be getting a little taste of that energy, it is going to be very important for us to ground ourselves during this time. Meditation is going to be something that will be quite helpful for you. And even if you're the type that can't really get your thoughts to be quiet, because I personally am a Gemini moon. So yeah, my thoughts always are going. Okay. So I'm the type that even though I'm meditating and I'm sitting real quiet, I got thoughts going on. But that's okay though, because I'm alone with my thoughts, and that's what I'm supposed to be doing. You don't have to be sitting there with a clear mind to meditate. Just a reminder, okay, for someone out there. But finding different ways to manage your psyche is going to be very helpful during this time, okay? Now, the full moon definitely illuminates the things that we need to shed. Now, one of the things that Gemini energy is definitely bringing up for us, it's time to release mental clutter. Stop overthinking. It's time to release some of those thoughts. Journaling is the best way to do so. If you're a content creator, do some videos to release your thoughts on, or go live and talk to some of your supporters. Just any way that you can release your thoughts, get them off of there, get them out there, okay? Also, this is not a time to get hyper fixated on minor details of things. And these are things that would overshadow the big picture. Gemini moon energy tends to be great at starting things, but not so great with completing things, because it gets hyper fixated on the perfectionism of it to the point to where it just says, bump it, I'm gonna start something else. That energy can often drop the ball before that bigger picture of that Sagittarius energy has a chance to evolve. Because remember, Gemini and Sagittarius are sister signs, and on this channel I like to refer to Mercury and Jupiter as sister planets, okay? Mercury being the smaller planet, it deals with all of the smaller details of things, and Jupiter being the expanded version of that and being the bigger planet, okay? Now, because that Sag sun is in the sky, and I believe it's also going to be in Mars too. Hold on, let me check real quick, y'all. Yeah, it is. It's in Mars, and it's in Venus too. So yeah, we got... y'all. Okay, so there's going to be some relationship issues around this time. It's going to be really do or die in a lot of your relationships, okay? Some of y'all might be calling it quits around this time, just due to the fact that these endings, it's time for a lot of these type of things to end if they're not going to be taken to the expanded level that Sagittarius would bring. Sagittarius energy brings in that expanded energy of everything, and it's going to definitely highlight any type of issues that you might have within your relationship. It's going to highlight all of the great details too. So if everything is on the up and up with your relationship, you will be wanting to take it to a more intimate and intense level. And this is just in the event that Scorpio season didn't already get y'all there, okay? But there's also a kind of arrogance that comes with Sagittarius energy, right? Because it thinks that it is that one truth, okay? It does follow its wisdom, but it feels like it might be the wisest in the room a lot of times along its journey, okay? So with that being said, there is a critical release on identities or partnerships that's built on compromise. The moon is definitely going to ask you, where have you been choosing connections over your own authenticity? If you've been given more than you've been receiving in a connection, it's time for you to stop that shit and do it now, and do it now. Name your truth, set your boundaries, and choose energies and situations and people that reciprocate your energy, okay? We only doing reciprocal connections. Only, okay? Now, this supermoon is an ignition point, okay? After this clarity hits, be mindful around December 14th when this action, the planet Mars squares Neptune. Now, that's going to be something right there. Now, the energy may feel low. You might even feel uncertain about your direction. It's just a time for you to slow down and do not, and I repeat, do not, for the love of God, fight the wrong battles with the wrong people, okay? Some people, it's not even worth it. They don't want to know your point of view anyway. They just want to argue theirs. And don't waste your time, or just don't waste your energy, okay? Now, December, for the rest of December, the sequence is pretty much going to be stability and mastery of that Capricorn season. Like basically setting our boundaries and getting a little bit more strict on our routines and what we need to be doing as far as our self-discipline for ourselves. It's a time to clear our minds so that we can step into that 2026 feeling lighter, grounded, and stronger in our purpose. Now, per usual, Cosmic Cousins, you know I got my journal prompts and my affirmations to kind of help guide us through this energy. Now, take notes of the ones that you feel like hit you the most and definitely focus on that one and, leave the rest. Now, with that being said, go ahead and grab your pen and pads and let's get ready to take note of these journal prompts for this full moon in Gemini. Now, my journal prompt number 1 deals with communication and truth. What communication and unspoken truths are ready to be released from my mind so I can communicate them clearly? Now, that prompt actually leads me into my next prompt, which deals with mind and mental clarity. And for this one, I want you to list the top 3 areas of your life that feel scattered or overcommitted. And what is one concrete step you could take to bring mental focus to each one of those? Now, my last and final journal prompt deals with duality, the twins. What are 2 seemingly opposing desires that I've been juggling recently? And this is like security versus freedom or staying versus leaving. How can I find creative solutions that honor both of those sides? Now, another thing that I wanted to mention really quick, you want to watch during this time, getting into verbal altercations with siblings and cousins. Okay, cousins that are real close to you like siblings, I just wanted to throw that in there, okay? Now, let's go on to our affirmations, because y'all know I love a good affirmation over here. It gets us so inspired, it is so tea, and it gets our energy in that abundant focus, okay? So I love me a good affirmation. Stop playing. Now, my first affirmation deals with focusing on clarity. I release any mental clutter that does not serve my highest good. It gotta go. Okay, it gotta go. It has to go. Just to make it 3 times, okay? Those that know, okay? You know about that 3, okay? Now, my next affirmation deals with embracing duality. And it is, I embrace the many sides of myself with love and acceptance. Yes, I love all versions of me, okay? In all timelines. Know that. Now, my last and final affirmation deals with manifesting communication. I speak with truth, power, and I attract understanding. Ashe, ashe. Now, this is definitely going to be a time where you're going to really want to just check yourself, your mental, make sure that you check in with yourself as far as your mental. Make sure that you practice breathing exercises because Gemini rules the lungs. So you want to make sure that you are breathing and doing those deep breathing that will help any nervous system issues that you may be having. Don't be surprised if you having a bunch of vivid dreams that are giving you a lot of information. Okay, make sure that you have a dream journal. I always advise you guys to keep a dream journal and note anything that might be helpful to you. Just note whatever, because you never know what's going to be helpful to you until you come back to that dream journal one day and you notice it. Okay, messages will be coming through, so just be open to receive them. Okay. Now, with that being said, Cosmic Cousins, I'm going to get on up out of here. Make sure that you go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know how this full moon energy has been affecting you. Definitely. I want to know. So let me know in the comments, okay? And yeah, I'm out.